grade 10 learners. Our lesson for today is proportions. Did you know that whenever the fuel price increases, the price of food increases as well? Have you ever wondered why is it like that? It is like that mainly because when the price of fuel increases, therefore the transport cost will also increase. So as the transport cost increases, that causes the price of food to increase as well. We are saying, therefore, the fuel price is directly proportional to the price of food. Whatever happens to the fuel price affects the price of food directly. Therefore, we are dealing with proportions. I hope you are understanding the generalization that I just gave you, that as the price of fuel increases, the price of food increases as well. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to perform calculations with direct proportions, perform calculations with inverse proportion, interpret graphs of direct proportion, and interpret graphs of inverse proportion. Let us have a look at the content that we need to cover today. We are going to cover direct proportion graphs, inverse proportion, as well as inverse proportion graphs. Okay, let us have a look at the content that you covered previously that we need to apply in this section. Calculations with equivalent ratios as well as expressing ratios as fraction. So now let us practice what we've learned previously just to make sure that we recap, you still remember what we did so that when we apply, you are able to follow. Example number 1. Determine the ratios which are equivalent to each of the following. The first question is 3:15. So how do we determine the ratios which are equivalent to the ratio which is given here? For us to say the ratio is equivalent to another one, it means it should be multiplied by the same value. In this example, I multiplied by 2. So let us see the impact that multiplication by 2 will have on this one. So to multiply by 2, I said you multiply both sides. So on the left-hand side, we have 3. So if we take 3, multiply by 2, therefore the answer that you will get is 6. And then on the right-hand side, we have 15. So if we take 15, multiply by 2, we have 30. Therefore, we are saying 3:15 is equivalent to 6:30 because both parts have been multiplied by the same number, which is 2. Let us have a look at the second one. Determine the ratios which are equivalent to the following. 1:20. So, once more, we are multiplying this ratio by 2. So we multiply the value on the left-hand side by 2, and then 2 multiplied by 1, we get 2. Once more, we take 2 multiplied by the value on the right-hand side, which is 20, and then we get 40. Therefore, 1:2 is equivalent to 2:40. You can use any value, but make sure that you multiply both sides by the same value. Then we know that those values are equivalent. Let us continue with the second example. Simplify the following values and express the values as simplified ratios. So we are simplifying, and after simplifying, we have to express this in the form of ratio. So we have 7 divided by 49. Remember, when you have 7 divided by 49, we say we are looking for the lowest common multiple. A number which is divisible by 7, and then both sides, if you check, 7 is divisible by 7. 49, it's also divisible by 7. Therefore, 7 is our LCM. So let's continue. Let us simplify this. We say we are going to divide both sides by 7. Both the numerator and the denominator by 7. Mainly because we've identified that 7 is the lowest common multiple. So 7 divided by 7, we are going to get 7. And when we divide 49 by 7, let us divide together. Press your calculator with me. 49 divided by 7, the answer is 7. Therefore, we say 7 divided by 7, and then we say 49 divided by 7, and then the answer that we are going to get, the numerator will be 1 because 7 divided by 7 is 1. 49 divided by 7 is 7. Therefore, as a simplified, not yet a ratio, as a simplified fraction, is 1:7. And remember, we said you need to simplify it as a ratio. To simplify it as a ratio, remember, the numerator is the value on the left-hand side of the ratio. The denominator is the value on the right-hand side of the ratio. Therefore, our simplified ratio will then be 1:7. So we have solved this one. Remember, you first find the lowest common multiple. You divide both the numerator and the denominator by that lowest common multiple. The answer you get, you remember the numerator is on the left-hand side, denominator on the right-hand side. Let us see the next example. 4 divided by 28. So 4 divided by 4, we will say 4 divided by 4, and we also say 28 divided by 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. And 28 divided by 4, let's do it together. 28 divided by 4, we get 7. Therefore, once more, our fraction is 1:7, which is simplified. But then to express it, we know this one will be on the left-hand side and the denominator will be on the right-hand side. Therefore, 1:7 once more. So we have simplified that. Now, let us have a look at the new weights that we need. We are going to use the following terminologies: proportion, direct proportion, inverse proportion, dependent variables, as well as independent variables. I will explain these concepts as I come to the content right after the break. See you after the break.